Hey everybody, this is Jim, the Tabletop Engineer, and welcome to a new playthrough video. Actually, this is going to be a new game, so I've got it set up here, and let me show you what I'm going to be playing. This is called Space Station Zero, right here. It is from Snarling Badger's studio. If you watch any wargaming videos and you know who Uncle Adam is, he's half of the creatorship of this new game. Now, I bought the PDF. Oh, well, I bought the print copy and the PDF together, and I read through the PDF, and I knew immediately it was something I wanted to play. So I was kind of debating go ahead and starting, but I really prefer a hard copy, a printed copy. I just find it easier to find rules and things like that. So let me give you a quick rundown of the game in case you're not familiar with it. You can play it cooperatively or competitively, but it's sort of really designed as a solo game. It's science fiction. It's set on a very large space station, Space Station Zero, which is out so far in the black that it's a mistake to get there. For instance, the storyline goes that you're all these ships, that are jumping into hyperspace. Every now and then, 1 in a million shot, one of them, something goes wrong with the engines, and it either explodes, the ship blows up, or if you're lucky or maybe unlucky, your ship ends up moving so far away that even at normal hyperspace speeds, you could never get back home without that 1 in a million fluke. So when you happen to be on one of those ships, and when you get out there, you're hailed by this ship in your language, and you're given a docking space, and you come on board because you're going to run out of food, you're going to run out of air, water, all those things. So this is probably your best chance of survival. And when you get on here, you find that there are hundreds, maybe even thousands of ships that have docked with this space station, and they've sort of made a little world of their own. There's bars and food and trade and bad stuff. I mean, it's sort of a lawless type land. But the space station, is mostly unexplored. And so your crew has decided, rather than just call this home forever, you're going to go investigate the ship and see if you can unlock some secrets and maybe find a way home. So that's the gist of the story. It's a very different game than I've ever played. You're going to make a crew of you either choose 4, 6, or 8 crew members. And depending on how many crew members you choose to start out with, your stats, your crew stats, will fluctuate. If you choose 4, you have the highest stats, like really good starting values, but you have a small crew. 6, you're sort of in the middle of the road, and 8, you have the lowest of the stats, but you have more crew members that are not necessarily expendable, but you could stand to lose 1 or 2. I have chosen 6, and my ship was an exploration ship. What's really interesting and really kind of cool about this game is there are a bunch of ways that you can customize your crew before you start the game. You can choose the type of ship you want. There's like merchant, pirate, exploration, warfare, medical. I think there's some more. And then after you pick your ship, you get to pick your crew, and there's like 6 to 8 different classes, if you want to call them. There's medic, engineer, pilot, captain, those kind of things. There are also some advanced classes that play into, if you lose an advanced, you can't recruit new members. I guess maybe somewhere in the book or in some of the missions, maybe you find new crew members. But the rules are kind of weird about if you choose an advanced class, like there's one called Ace Pilot, which I chose. I believe, if I understand the rules correctly, if I found another pilot out there and wanted to recruit, I couldn't do that. Only if I had a basic pilot could I get another one. I'll verify that, but that's the way I read it. So there are a total of 24 challenges or scenarios in this book, and you're probably not going to play all 24 because it's sort of like a choose-your-own-adventure book. When you do a challenge, some of these challenges, when you win them, you get a choice. Do you go through airlock door A or do you go through airlock door B? And I think losing in some cases or not meeting the challenge can have effects and things like that. Characters can die, crew members can die, and when they die in the game, they're out of the game. But that doesn't necessarily mean they're dead. Like many war games or many skirmish war games, there's a table that you will roll on at the end of the game to determine if a crew member is outright dead. In some cases, they come back even more experienced and with an improvement in their stats. And that's another thing. Your crew members will level up with XP and gain new skills and higher stats and things like that to help them move further and further into Space Station Zero as they try to get to the end. I guess 24 would be the last challenge. The book does warn you that characters and crew are going to die. So, and it also, I think somewhere said, don't expect to get all the way through all 24 scenarios or to the end on your first try. So I like that kind of warning. That gives me hope that, maybe if I didn't pick the right crew or ship type or whatever, maybe another choice will be better. Oh, and I forgot to mention, every crew has what's called an edge. The edge is like a customization. I think there's like maybe a dozen of them, maybe more. You can pick the edge, and it gives your crew a bonus. Like, for instance, there's one, I don't remember the name of it, but it's like all of your crew start with armor. Like they're armored, and it gives you, better survivability in combat. There's another one that if you die outright zero, your crew consists of like parasitic type, think Venom, where you can take the host you kill or one of the hosts that survives or however, and you sort of like infect them, and so now you didn't die so much as you're now like a different species. My captain or my crew has chosen the one called psionic. So my captain has a psionic ability which gives every crew member, I think once per challenge or once per scenario, a special re-roll or something. I'll have to look it up again. But I'm ready to play. I have created a custom 20 by 30 game board here, not underneath my terrain. I've got two characters that start out underneath in cover, two over here and two over here. And in the book, it will show you sort of how to lay out the scenario and where certain things go. Where your enemies start, if there are any enemies. Sometimes there's no enemies to fight. Sometimes there's just challenges to overcome. And you will roll these at the beginning of a challenge. The game board is 20 by 30, which I think most people can do. It's not a typical game mat like a mouse pad, neoprene type mat. And I wanted something that looked beat up and ragged like you would find inside a space station. So this is custom made, and I'll be posting a video over at the Tabletop Engineer YouTube channel. This one is the Tabletop Engineer Plays YouTube channel, but I'll be posting how I made this game board over there if you're interested in seeing it. So what I'm going to do is I've got to get my crew sheet printed out. I've got to get some things together, and we'll get ready to start this game in just a few minutes. One final thing I want to tell you: this game, the mechanics are very different from anything I've ever played. They use the D12s, those poor D12s that we never really end up using in our role-playing games, maybe occasionally. But I have lots of D12s that have probably never even been rolled. And so hopefully they're going to get an opportunity this game to get lots and lots of rolls. I'll go over the game's rules when I encounter them, so I'm explaining how the game plays. But in a nutshell, this game is based on rolling D12s and getting either odds or evens. So evens are successes, odds are failures. 2 12s is called a critical success. 2 1s, for example, if you rolled 2 D12s, 2 1s is a critical failure. 2 D12s will always override 2 D1s. So there are times when you might roll 6 dice, 7 dice, 8 dice. And if you roll some 1s and some 12s, the 12s will always override the 1s, so there's not a failure. And then there's other ways that you'll use the D12s for making saving throws and things like that. But we'll get to that once I start actually playing the game. So let me get this game set up. Let me go get my crew sheet printed out, and I'll be right back to get this game started. Okay, I've got my crew sheet printed up. I changed shirts because it is so hot in my workshop. And there's 2 more things I got to do before I get started. You have to roll for obstacles or enemies. You roll for 2 of them, 2d12s, and the options are poison gas, leak, collapsing floor, live wires, and ancient sentries. So let's roll 2d12s and see what we get. I rolled a 12 and a 7. 12 is ancient sentries, and 7 is live wires. So let's flip this over. All right, live wires. The entire room is crisscrossed with ancient wires that spark and electrify. Each time a crew member moves, they must make a reaction save of 3. If they fail, they suffer damage equal to the amount by which they failed. Okay, I'll explain reaction saves when we get to that. They may attempt to disarm the live wires, but they may not move during their activation. To disarm the wires, make a reaction challenge of 3. Okay, same thing. If they fail, they suffer damage, blah, blah, blah. Each time a crew member succeeds, reduce the success number for the reaction by 1. So it looks like you're going to go from 3 to 2 to 1 to 0. So 4 challenges to shut these wires down. And then for the ancient sentries, it says this access bay is guarded by robotic guards, so ancient they are barely functioning, though they still have enough energy to threaten your crew. Set up 6 ancient sentries per crew. 6 ancient sentries per crew. The sentries are set up equally divided among E1 and E2. They are no ranged weapon, which is good, but if they get in close, they are +1 combat, which means I get to roll an extra die for that. They have 2 life, a move of 3. All right, so basically, I need to go get 6 robots. Give me just a second. All right. How many did I get? I did get 6. Okay. I'm going to use these. These are core space robots, harvesters, I think they call them. So the rules say to put them in behind the PGs. What are PGs? Oh, poison gas. Well, I put these here because the map had them, but I guess I don't need them since I'm not doing poison gas. Okay, so there's just live wires around, but if I move, I have to make a reaction save, so that's not good. All right, so let me look at the video. You can't see here. Yeah, this is really just for looks, so I'm gonna move that out of the way so that you can see the whole game board. I've got 2 of my crew over on this side, 2 here, and 2 underneath in hiding. That's my medic and my pilot. My medic and my pilot, they are the ones that are the most rare. So well, my captain is too, but I don't want to lose them. So I'm kind of starting them out in cover. It looks like I've got 6 robots all glaring at me, and these aren't going to play into it. So since I didn't, those are PG, which is the poison gas things. All right, so I'll leave them. Let's get started. All right, so first thing you do is your character will move, and then they may take an action. But remember, if I move, I'm going to take damage from a wire. So what I could do, but that's kind of weird. You would have to assume there's got to be some movement because, like, the wires are. It doesn't tell you where to put the wires. It just says It says there's lots of them, so maybe I don't know. That's weird. I'm just going to make a thing that says if I want to attempt to disarm a wire, I have to at least move. We'll do that. So my captain is going to move. He's going to move. He can move 4, which puts him right about here. And since he moved, he has to make a reaction 3. Reaction 3. His reaction is 4. So that means I'm going to roll 4 d12s. Each even number that I roll is a success, and I need 3 of them. So let's see what I get. I got a 4, a 10, a 3, and 11. So I got 2 successes, so I take 1 point of damage. Already doing some damage. And that's all he can do. That was his action. Instead was attempting to disarm. No, he moved and he took it, but he didn't try to disarm. This will be it. So now he's going to try to disarm as his action, which means he rolls for his reaction, which is 4, and I need 3 to beat it. 4 2, and a 5. So are these cumulative? I don't think they are. No, they're not cumulative. There's a rule in the thing, like some challenges, they have a high number, and so every time you get a success, you put a marker on it, and you just, you can take multiple turns, but this one doesn't indicate that, so I'm assuming that you got to do it all in one shot. So he took damage, and he didn't do a wire. Now, in this game, the player starts, but in order to keep moving, you have to keep initiative, and you have to roll a d12 to move a new crew member. The second crew, you have to roll a 6 or higher to keep initiative. I rolled a 7, so I get to keep initiative. The third crew member is a 10, and then after that, the 4th, 5th, 6th, and higher is a natural 12. You got to roll a 12 or higher to keep initiative. So it gets harder to keep initiative. So my soldier is going to move. He's going to do his reaction. Soldier's reaction is 3, so he needs 3 evens. He got 1, so he takes 2 points of damage. Man, soldier is 2 points of damage. Ow! And then he is going to try to disarm. His reaction is 3, so he needs 3 evens. 10, 4, and a 5. However, my soldier, it says once per turn, you may select any 2 dice to reroll. Well, I only need to reroll 1. I need an even. And I did not get it, so he failed. Ugh. All right, let's see if I retain initiative. I need to roll a 10 or higher. I rolled a 12, so I get to retain initiative. I need to take care of these robots, so I tell you what I'm going to do. Rather than move, my scientist here is combat of 3, so that's 3 dice, and he has a sidearm, which adds 2. All of my crew have a sidearm, so they all add 2 dice to their combat dice. So he's rolling 5, and he's not moving, so that's good. He won't have to worry about that. I rolled an 8, a 2, a 2, a 2, and a 2, so 5 successes. The only way this robot could dodge that, they have 2 lives, is to roll 2 12s, because that's a critical success, and it will double the number of successes you get. So with 5 hits, if he rolls 2 12s, that's 4. He still fails it, but if he rolls a third even, he would pass it. So let's see what happens. 2, 12, and a 9. So we got 2 successes, double it, that's 4, but I had 5 hits. So that is enough for this guy to be gone. All right, my initiative, I have to roll a 12 or higher. I rolled a 12. All right, my engineer is not going to move. My engineer is also going to do this, so he's going to fire at this guy. The engineer is, where's my engineer? He is combat of 3, and he gets 2 dice. All right. Let's see, he has bypass. What is bypass? Once per challenge, treat int or reacts challenges as 0. Oh, I could do that. I'll do that on my next turn. All right, rolling 5. I'm shooting at this one. I got a 2, a 6, a 6, and a 6 for 4 hits. 4 hits versus his 3 roll save. 4 hits, and I got no evens, so took another one out. Boom. That's good. My pilot is under here. My pilot is combat of 3, but his weapon is +2, but he gets another die because one of my characters, the engineer, has a skill called weapon tuning. Once per game, once per challenge, he can add 1 die to one person's weapon combat value. So I chose the pilot. I chose him because I didn't want to give it to the captain and the soldier. They already have pretty good. So he gets to roll 6 die, and he's going to shoot at this one. I rolled a 2, 12, 8. That's it. 3 hits. 3 hits versus, on this guy, 7, 9, and 9. So it took another one out. This one's working out. The doctor, who has also got a weapon, he's 3 combat and 2 dice. He's going to shoot at this one. I rolled a 9, 6, 6, 2, and a 7. So 3 hits versus 6, 6, and a 3. So he takes 1 point of damage. All right, well, one's better than nothing. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't roll for initiative. That would not have happened because, let me take a step back. I rolled 12 initiative for him, but there's no way I'm going to roll a 12 again. Nah, I didn't. So each one of these would have moved. I'm going to just go ahead and move them all. They would all move 3 inches. And that way, you know, I made a mistake, but I'll make it up by making it harder. These robots are pretty easy to kill as long as you get them before they get up close. Once they get up close, they got 4 combat dice, so not good. All right, so now I will have rather than have him fire, I will have him move out, and he has to make a reaction save. His reactions are 3, so he needs 3 evens, and I rolled just 2, so he takes a point of damage. And he's going to try and disarm with 3. None. He did not disarm. All right. I've moved all my guys. They've moved all theirs. It is now a new turn. So here's what I'm going to do. My engineer has taken no damage. He will move. He will try to make a save. His reaction is 4. So this is to try to dodge the wires. 2, he takes 2 points of damage. But I'm going to use his special ability called Bypass. And it says, once per challenge, you can create an an intelligence or reaction challenge as 0. So basically, I just roll 4 dice, and I'm trying to get 1 to disable the wires. An int of this would be a success. And I got a single 1. So one wire is defeated, I guess, so to speak. So I can only do that once per challenge. So now there are only 3 wires left for a challenge of 2. So that was good. Good for him to do that. Let's go ahead and have. I don't want the captain to move again. So the captain has the best targeting. I'm gonna have the scientist move. Scientist has 3, and he takes all 3 damage. Ah, that hurt. He's got 1 health left. All right, he's going to try and disable a wire. Now I need his reaction is 3, so I just need 2. It's a challenge of 2, and I get to roll 3 dice. So I just need 2 even numbers. I got a 9, 9, and 11, so he failed it. All right, got to take care of these robots. Captain will fire. Captain is 4. Oh, no, I got to see if I keep initiative. 6 or higher. I rolled a 10, so the captain will go. He's going to roll 4 dice, plus his 2. He's going to shoot at this front one. 2, 8, 6, 3 hits. 3 hits versus the robot's save of 10 and a 6, so 1 point of damage. All right, now let's see if... What did I do that for? Let's see if the robots get initiative. Now I need to roll a 10 or higher. I rolled an 8. So this one will move 3. He's the closest. Did they roll a 6 or higher? They did. This one will move 3. Did they roll a 10 or higher? They did not. My turn. All right, so what I need to do is get some markers to indicate who has moved. He's moved. He's moved. He's moved. That leaves my soldier and my engineer. Soldier's going to fire. Might as well. He's combat of 4 plus 2 dice, and he'll fire at this front one. Actually, that front one only needs 1 point of damage. He's going to fire at this guy over here. Got a 3. Got a single 1. 1 point of damage if this guy doesn't save at all. And he did. He saved with a 4. So no damage there. He has gone. See if I keep initiative. Well, did they all move? No, they didn't. Let me see if I roll a 6 or higher. I did. So now my last person can go. The captain already went. My medic can go. He's got a reaction of 3, combat of 3. I'll have him shoot. He's going to shoot this guy as well. He got an 8, 2, 12, and a 4 for 4 hits. 4 hits versus... That's a 3, 9, and a 1. So he is out of there. And he has gone. So that is it. Everybody has moved. Everybody has moved. It is now my turn. The engineer, everybody's got damage except for the pilot. So the pilot's going to try and disable the next one. So the pilot will move. He needs to make a reaction. His reaction's 5. So let's see if he dodges the wires. 4, 4, 8, 12. Yes, he dodges the wires. Let's see if he can disable another one. He just needs 2 evens. 8. He got 1. Actually, hold on. My engineer, bypass, and weapon. I already used the bypass, so I can't use that again. Oh well. All right, so he failed it, and he is gone. Do I keep initiative? 6 or higher? 4, I do not. This guy will move. Do they keep initiative? 6 or higher? They do. This guy will move. They've all moved, so now it is my turn. Basically, I'm just going to unload. All my guys are firing at these guys. The going left to right, the scientist is 3 plus 2. He'll shoot at the front one. I got a single 6, so 1 hit. Let's see if this guy gets any evens. And he did, so he has gone. That's not good. Soldier will fire at the one behind. Well, let's go ahead and have the captain shoot at the one in front. He's 4 plus 2. 6, 10, 8. 3 hits. Only needs 1. 3 hits versus 6, 12, and 9. 2 hits. 1 gets through, but he already had 1, so he is dead. Captain went. The captain went. The engineer here is 3 plus 2. 3 plus 2. He'll fire at this last one. 8, 2, 10, 2, 12. That's 5. That's 5 hits. 5 hits versus 2, 6, 2 versus 3 hits is 2 hits. That's enough to kill him. So basically, at this point, it's just the wires, and it's at challenge rating 2. So it's my turn. I'm gonna have the pilot try again. He'll move. Just to be fair, he'll move, and he has to make a save of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to dodge. He got a 10. A 10. Really? Come on. All right, he failed, so he's moved. Who else could do this? The medical officer can move. He can afford to fail, possibly. He will move, and he is a reaction of 3. Come on, just need 2 evens. 2 evens, come on. 2 and a 4. He did it. All right, so he dodged the wires, but let's see if he is able to disarm them. He needs 2 evens. I rolled a 2, an 11, and a 5, so he failed it. Man. Who next? Captain. Captain will move. And his reaction is 4, so he needs 2 evens to dodge. 8, 10, so he did. Let's see if he can disable. He just needs 2 evens. 8 and a... That's it, nothing. All right, my engineer. This is a risk, but he will move so that I'm basically saying they got to move if they want to try and, because otherwise I could just sit here and roll all day to see if they disable these wires. His reaction is Chief Engineer's is 4, and I got a 10, 10, 2, and a 6. So he dodged it successfully. He needs 2 evens to turn the wire down. 4, 12, 2. He did it. Now the challenge is at 1. I'll go ahead and have my soldier, who hasn't moved yet. He'll move. Soldier is 1, 2, 3. 3 reaction. He's got to roll at least 1 even to dodge the wires. I rolled a 12 and an 8, so he did. And then he's got to roll 1 even to disarm it. 2, 8, 5. He did disarm it. Now it is down to 0, which basically means, I think that's it. When it gets down to 0, you can't do any damage when it's at 0. So that's it. All right, so all of my guys survived. They beat the 6, what were they called? Ancient sentries. There were 6 of those beat, and they successfully cut all the live wires. The challenge ends when all enemies are defeated and the challenges. Your crew discovers multiple exits leading out of this area and discusses which exit to take. Eventually, they decide to leave it up to chance. When your crew completes this challenge, roll on the table below. All right, let's do it. Let's see what happens. There's only one roll here. Since none of my characters died, I have no out of game rolls to see if they survived. So roll a d12. I rolled a 9. Challenge 5. As I mentioned, you may not do these challenges in order. So I'm going to be jumping up to challenge 5, which is Medical Bay. All right, interesting. I'm not going to read that here. I will read it and get the next game set up, but it's kind of cool. Now, I did kind of expect the first scenario to kind of be easy, although technically it wasn't. I mean, I've got... all my heroes have damage except for the pilot. The pilot's the only one that didn't take any damage, but thankfully none of them are permanent damage. Yeah. So, again, I'll take my character sheet and scan it after I update it with XP, because you do get XP in here. And I'm trying to remember, it's later in the book. You know what? As a matter of fact, I'm going to take a pause, and I'm going to go to the post-game rolls, and I'll just append that to the game, and I'll do that for future games. So give me just a second to go get a drink of water. I'll come back and I'll do the post-game rolls. I hope you liked this. It's called Space Station Zero, and I'm looking forward to the next game. Okay, the post-game rules start on page 40 if you have the book, and it looks like you're going to be doing a lot of 2d12s. I thought it was just one, but it says for injuries and death. None of my characters were put out of action. That's basically when they get down to 0 life, so I don't have to roll that. Now, I'm just going to straight experience, I guess. It says, in Space Station Zero, you either learn quick or die. Once you have determined who has lived, your surviving crew members gain experience. Follow the steps below. All right, so apply any experience granted by the challenge. Well, it didn't tell me that there was any particular challenge. I'm pretty sure. Let me just double check. No, I think it would explicitly say something like you get a bonus XP or something, but it does not say that. So step 1 is gone. Step 2, each crew member that survives gains one experience point. So I was writing it in the wrong part, so I'm just going to use tick marks here. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, and 1. Your commander gains 1 bonus XP if they survived. All right, so he gains a second one. That's kind of not fair. If you gained any knowledge shards, you gain the relevant ability. I don't even know what that is. Okay, knowledge shards. I didn't gain a knowledge shard. I think, was that one of the options for poison gas, collapsing floor, live wires, ancient sentries? Did I miss something? Collapsing floor. No. Poison gas. No, nothing. Doesn't mention anything about knowledge shards. Okay, so that's done. Once you've applied the XP, check against the tables below. All right, it looks like there's a commander table and a regular crew table. And regular crew can do something at XP 5. Commander can do something at XP 7. So I didn't figure I would be able to do much after my first game. So captain's got 2 XP. All the others have 1 XP. It looks like you got to play at least 4 more games to get 5 XP for my crew, unless those challenges give XP. Is that it? That is it. That's it. That's a very simple post-game process. All right, I will clean up the character crew sheet. I will get this uploaded, and there will be a link to download this in the video description below. I hope you like this. I definitely want to keep playing it, so I'm adding this to my list of games that I play. Space Station Zero by Adam Loper and Vincent Venturella. It is from Snarling Badger Studios, which I went to their website. I guess it's snarlingbadger.com, or maybe it's snarlingbadgerstudios.com. I'll put a link again in the video below. They sell the PDF, they sell the print and PDF. If you order the print, you get the PDF. So, and it was a very reasonable price. I want to say it was like $20. So don't hold me to that, but it was not. For a new skirmish wargame solo, that's great. You can use any sci-fi miniatures you want. It is agnostic. It doesn't care what you use. Obviously, it doesn't matter what you use for terrain. It is an unusual terrain size in that it uses a 20 by 30 board. That's something I'm not used to seeing, but okay, 20 by 30 it is. I'll have a video up also of me how I made my custom board here. If you're interested in that, I'll be putting that up hopefully early next week or a few days after this video goes live. All right, that's all I have for today. This is Jim, the Tabletop Engineer. Thanks for joining me for a playthrough game of Space Station Zero. I'll be back again soon with another game. Take care.